has been paid for by the New World Order.
Hey everybody, Big Dog here. If you could be so kind as to give me a like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you're liking the content. Also, if you're looking to interact with me a little more, there's a link in the description box below of every video that I do. It's a link to all my social media accounts, Twitter, Twitch, my Discord server, TikTok, all that good stuff, if you want to interact with me a little more. And I'd greatly appreciate it if you did. Now, what do you say we get on with the show, huh? Ooh, what's happening, everybody? It is your man, Big Dog here. Welcome to another episode of the Dog House. This is episode 211, and we are moving. A couple things I want to talk about with you guys. I took a break from making like one-shot videos. I'm gonna try and start that back up this weekend. I'm gonna try and do a video on, or do a shorter form video. Maybe bring back in my opinions, or in my opinion, shorts series, or at least do like one more about that. But I haven't really decided. I'll probably use tomorrow and Sunday to decide, and then hopefully I'll have a video out before the end of the weekend. Excuse me. But anyway, moving on from that, we have a few topics we do have to talk about today, or just mainly two. First one is a follow-up from a story that I did last week about how Nintendo Switch 2 games are going to be $80 and some will be up to $90 respectfully. I hate to say it, ladies and gentlemen, but it looks like this hobby of ours is going to get a lot more expensive. Either that or you're going to be playing a lot less games these days. But anyway, let's move on to this article that was published a couple days ago, actually. Okay, so Nintendo defends Switch 2 pricing amid tariff concerns and gamer backlash. Newly announced tariffs were not a factor in console's final US price. I'm not going to get into the whole political side of this, obviously, because that's not what my channel is. If you want to know the political background on this, go watch another channel, please, because that's not what I'm here for. Anyway, let's read this article. Serving tech enthusiasts for over 25 years. I don't give a flying fuck. This article is also from TechSpot, by the way. Nintendo would much prefer the focus to be on the many technological improvements introduced with the Switch 2. Sure, I guess. However, most gamers are now more interested in discussing how much the new console and its compatible games will cost compared to the previous generation. Let's be real, that's understandable. No, Nintendo didn't slap a $450 price tag on the Switch 2 because of Trump's tariffs. According to Oh my god, wait a minute. Doug Bowser. Oh my god. The irony. You know what? Give me like 2 seconds. I gotta find something. Oh my god. There's no way that's actually his name. Doug. Doug Bowser. Oh my god. This is insane. This dude's name is actually Doug Bowser. Oh man. Oh, yeesh. We're gonna get into this guy in a minute because he said some crazy things. But yeah, I'm not gonna read this article for too long. Oh my god. Okay, let's real quick. Let's just get to a point in this article, and then I'm gonna move on to another one. Because oh my god, is this hilarious? Is that hilarious? According to Doug Bowser, the current president of Nintendo of America, multiple factors contributed to the console's final pricing. The Japanese company announced the new console on the same day the U.S. administration dropped its financial nuclear bomb. Okay, we're not going to get into that. Following the Switch 2 reveal, Bowser confirmed that the newly announced tariffs were not factored into the console's final U.S. price.
Bruh.
You know something? I've got some bad news for all my brothers, gaming brothers and sisters, and my now pissed off Nintendo fanboys. It's not, the Switch 2 is not going to be $450. Sure, that's the MSRP. That's going to be the MSRP. Don't get me wrong. But let's not sit here and act like you're going to be able to buy it at that price. It's going to be either $100 more, $200 more, or if these stores are crazy enough, $300 more. Like I said, man, like gaming is getting up there in PC building to become one of the most expensive hobbies in the world, in my opinion. Following the Switch 2 reveal, Bowser confirmed that the newly announced tariffs were not a factor. However, Nintendo was later forced to halt pre-orders, originally set to begin on April 9th, which was 2 days ago, I want to say. Hold on a second. Yeah, it was 2 days ago. As it evaluates the potential consequences of Trump's trade policy. Okay, we're not getting into that. We're gonna... Nintendo will also raise the price of its games, which are now expected to cost. Bowser explained that Switch 2 will cost $150 more than the original Switch. I fucking knew it. Due to the enhanced features and technological upgrades, the new console will maintain its hybrid design but will offer a larger LCD screen. I thought it was going to be OLED. I legit thought this was going to be OLED, but whatever. With variable refresh rate compatibilities and custom-built CPU/GPU from NVIDIA, more internal storage, and slightly reduced battery life. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to another article. Give me like 2 quick seconds. Here we go. Yeah. It's fucking bullshit. Someone at Nintendo has to stop Doug Bowser from speaking. Apparently, the Switch 2 is for broke boys. Did we all step in a time machine over the weekend? Or did Doug Bowser forget why he should and shouldn't say about Nintendo Switch 2? Where is Reggie? I want to speak to... Excuse me. Speak to the adults in the room. Look, console prices are a tough thing to balance. I get it. And the Switch 2 certainly has a challenge ahead of it. Oh, by the way, this article is from Vice, which reminds me, I have to save this. I will do that in a minute. But when president of your company is saying this via CBC, we recognize there are some people that may not be able to afford Switch 2's price point. That's why we wanted to make sure the other Switch platforms available, so people still have an opportunity to come into our gaming universe, be a part of these characters in these worlds, and see value, if you will, in whatever rung of the platform they come in. Oh no. No. You know what this guy's doing? He's pulling a Don Matrick. For those of you who don't remember, when the Xbox One was originally announced, the CEO, I believe it was the president and CEO at the time, Don Matrick, came out and said, because the Xbox One was going to be announced that they were going to be doing like always online and DRM and stuff like that. And people weren't happy with that, of course, for obvious reasons. And I will never forget what Don Matrick said to Jeff Keighley when Jeff Keighley was interviewing him. He said, yeah, we do have an offline device for people. It's called Xbox 360.
Fortunately, we have a product for people who aren't able to get some form of connectivity. It's called Xbox 360.
Right. So stick with 360. That's your message if you don't, like it?
If you have zero access to the internet, that is an offline device. I mean, seriously.
It's like, talk about tone deaf. Like, seriously, man, are you nuts? Saying that to your consumers? Oh, if you don't like it, you know what this also is? This is the equivalent of people saying, if you don't like my politics, don't buy my comic book, or don't watch my movie, or don't play my video game. And then they don't play the video game, and then it's like, oh, why are sales down? Like, you told people not to play it. What do you expect? But okay, so to be honest with you guys, I'm not, like I said, I wasn't going to get too deep into this, but I just wanted to give you guys a bit of a follow-up to the whole Switch 2 debacle that's still continuing to happen, by the way, because let's be real, these companies, these gaming companies, they don't like us anymore. These gaming companies, these journalists, they don't like us. We're not the priority to them. And you know what? That's fine. That is more than okay. Let's just let them know that they are not a priority to us. Their finances, them being able to do well, them being able to have financial success, that's not our responsibility anymore. So it's not our priority anymore. And it shouldn't be. If companies are going to treat people like this, treat them like cash cows, and then don't even get me started on the shills defending these idiots. But anyway, yeah, that's about it. Nintendo's screwing up and nobody's fucking surprised. But anywho, let's move on to another quick topic. The Minecraft movie. Now, I am gonna preface this by saying I did not go to see this movie. Apparently it came out last week, and much to my surprise at the very least, because I saw the trailer for this movie and I was like, what the hell was this? Apparently the movie's doing really well. Let's hear from Optimus.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about the Minecraft movie, which I've already made a couple of videos about over the last few months, kind of just talking about it as the trailers dropped, more or less reacting to those as everything was going on, but it has now obviously been out for a few days. It officially box office opened over the last weekend here, and it's been making not only just a whole lot of headlines just because of how successful it's been, but obviously I'm sure many of you have seen online all of the memes and the references, all the videos and whatnot. The movie is a pretty big phenomenon right now. Now, my first couple of videos talking about it, I was a little bit more critical of it because I don't think the trailer...
As was I, because I'm going to be honest with you, the trailer did not make that movie look good. At least the initial trailer didn't. And I'll be honest with you, I love Jack Black and all, but Jack Black as Steve just didn't make sense.
Were very good. A lot of people had tons of problems with the trailer and just basically what we saw from that right now. The movie itself, though, now that it has come out, it is getting at least all right reviews from most audiences and critics, but also it has become such a massive financial success that apparently it has now eclipsed the box office opening for the Super Mario Brothers movie, which at the time that it came out, it became the best-selling movie for a video game adaptation on its opening weekend. It set
I still gotta see that movie, by the way.
a whole bunch of new records.
I haven't seen it.
Minecraft has now come along with this movie and kind of leapfrogged it and become like the biggest opening for a video game adaptation ever.
That is absolutely wild.
In fact, everyone seems to be pretty surprised by just how successful the movie is. Now, obviously, Minecraft is a massive IP. It is a billion-dollar game franchise.
That is true.
One of the most popular video games of all time, and there's not really much comparison with other games when it comes to the popularity, right? Even for like a decade now, Minecraft has just been one of the top games pretty consistently. So I think most people, myself included, even those of us who didn't really think the trailers looked great, weren't really going into this with like the best mindset quality-wise for the movie, right? Even I think we're pretty surprised knowing just how well this movie has been selling so far. So not only is it like selling out all over the place and, you know, theaters are packed all over the country and whatnot, but it has also become this massive meme online. I'm sure many of you guys have seen the clips of like Chicken Jockey and all this other shit going on, right?
Yeah.
So with this whole thing going on right now, and
I'll admit I've noticed the memes, but I haven't really engaged with them because I haven't seen the movie.
and the Minecraft movie being the phenomenon that it is, unfortunately, there's some bad things that are going on, but obviously there's also a lot of good going on. So I've been reading a lot of the reviews because I'm really interested to see what people have to say about this movie. And I think that the main thing that the movie, at least like critically or from like fan reviews so far, is suffering from is it seems like there's several different segments of the Minecraft audience, and depending on like what segment of the Minecraft audience that you're in, I think it really dictates your outlook on this movie. Because this movie, for whatever reason, I feel like when I'm looking at the reviews and like I'm seeing people talking about it, the beliefs or whatever about the movie that people have gotten from seeing it, they seem very split. Like obviously every movie there's going to be people who are like, oh, this movie's good, some people think it's bad, but with this one it's just like firmly people are either loving the experience or they think it's like the worst piece of shit that's ever been compiled on film, right?
Oh, that analogy's crazy. But yeah, this doesn't surprise me. This really doesn't surprise me. Because you get this with most movies, especially movies based on a very, very well-known IP, like something like Minecraft. Excuse me.
Now, me personally, I haven't seen it yet, so I can't, you know, say... Oh.
Same, I haven't seen it yet. And honestly, I don't know if I want to go to the theater just to see it, because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm not the biggest fan of going to movie theaters anymore. Like, for starters, ticket prices have gone out of control, like almost everything nowadays. Concessions prices have gone out of control. Not only that, and this is gonna be a bit of a hot take, there are a lot of people on this planet that do not know how to act in a movie theater. You know how they always have that fucking message in the before the movie where they say, oh, don't talk, text, don't ruin the movie for other people. Do you honestly think people listen to that?
Nope.
They do not. Trust me when I tell you, they do not.
oh, I love the movie or I hate the movie, because I think it would be pretty insane for me to come on here and just lie to you guys, right? I haven't seen it yet. I am definitely interested in at least watching it once at this point. I wasn't necessarily like ready to jump in and see it at the theater like before it came out, but like I said, there's a lot of people who think that it's really good so far. Now, these people, it seems to me, are like the more laid-back, casual audience who they probably, no offense or whatever, they just like to consume media, right? They like to go to the movies with their friends. They like Minecraft.
He's not wrong. These people do exist. I can kind of call myself one of those people, I guess.
Grew up playing Minecraft, watching Minecraft videos.
I did not grow up playing Minecraft.
Whatever, right? And they enjoy the like references and all of the other things going on, the memes, the Jack Black and Jason Momoa and all the stuff that's going on with this movie, right? These people are a little bit more enamored by what they've seen. Some of them are children, some of them are adults, but then it seems like the people who like take video game media and stuff like that, like quality of media, film critic-y kind of people, right? They seem to be the ones who really aren't thrilled with what we got. Now, admittedly, I think there are probably some issues that this movie has that anyone will notice. I mean, let's be real, like the story for a Minecraft movie is gonna be a pretty tough thing to create anyway, considering it's a sandbox game with real...
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, I agree with Optimus here. Like, how do you create a story for a game that doesn't really have a story per se, or at least not a story in the traditional sense? I mean, it's going to be pretty difficult.
Actual lore or anything like that. I mean, you could make a Skyrim movie based on like the lore and the settings and whatnot. You can't really do that in the same regard with something like Minecraft. So a lot of the people who are kind of like shitting on the movie or don't like it so far, their qualms are with like the actual quality of the writing, the quality of the storyline. A lot of them are complaining that the characters are bland and dull and things like that, which honestly, like I said, I feel like 80-90% of us probably could have predicted that the plot line and the characters and stuff like that was probably going to be the weak point here. First and foremost, it's a movie that's primarily aimed at children, which usually you feel like the people making movies or whatever, they usually give themselves a lot more leeway to kind of skimp out on these things because it's more about like attracting the attention of the children watching the movie rather than like feeding them a good story or something.
Yeah, he's got a point. Let's be real. This movie was... I wouldn't say it was more of a kids movie. I would say it's more of a family movie, kind of like Sonic 3, I guess you could say.
But like I said, with a movie based on Minecraft as a game, it's going to be hard to like write something where the storyline is just like perfect, you know, just this absolute cinema. But that seems to be like the part that people are harping on the most, at least when it comes to like, what we don't like, what we think is bad. A lot of people think that it's cringy and whatnot, which it seems like right now it kind of just depends. Like a lot of the people who are like really old Minecraft fans, people who've been around since the beginning, a lot of them tend to be in the more negative side from what I've seen. Now, the movie has become such a massive phenomena that there have been other issues regarding the movie. So one of the big things that's kind of going on in the theater experience right now for Minecraft is apparently in a lot of the showings for the movie, people are being kind of rowdy. They're like reacting excitedly when shit's going on. I guess like when the whole chicken jockey thing happens on the screen, there's been like theaters full of people just like yelling along to it, like clapping, standing up, throwing their fucking drinks, throwing their popcorn, you know. Apparently it's gotten so bad at some theaters with people like just throwing shit everywhere, like making a mess and whatnot, that...
What the hell is the matter with people, man? Seriously. Like, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I don't like going to movie theaters that much anymore, because people don't know how to fucking act anymore. Like, it's a movie. Look, I get it. You get excited about something in a movie, especially if it's something based on something you knew as a kid. I get that. Like, I remember cat wielding Mjolnir in Endgame. Me and my friends got excited. I'm not gonna lie, because that was cool. But we didn't, like, go out of control like this. Like, come on.
They've had to like ask people politely to like, hey man, you know, I get you're excited over the movie, but please don't throw your shit everywhere. Obviously, the employees have to go through and clean that up after everybody leaves and whatnot. And so at that point, you're basically just putting extra work and whatnot on these people working at the movie theater, which I can understand that, you know, I can understand not wanting people throwing soda at the screen or like dumping it all over the seats or whatever. Now, this is happening to a varying degree. Some people, you know, they're just like the theaters are being polite. Some people like are getting experiences where the kids or whoever's watching are just having a good time. They're not being like rowdy, but apparently I just read a headline here. Apparently during a screening of the Minecraft movie, a worker at one of these movie theaters was body slammed by a moviegoer.
What? Are you insane? Oh my god. This is what I'm talking about. Come on.
I don't even understand how the fuck that happens. Like, how do you go to a Minecraft movie that is aimed primarily for children, right, in terms of demographic, and you're in there like getting so worked up or whatever that you're like assaulting the employees of the movie theater? I don't think that has anything to do with the movie. I think that's more of like home training, parenting, product of society kind of bullshit going on.
Yeah, that is the definition of people just don't know how to act anymore. Like, you know better. Come on.
there. But, you know, this movie,
I'm gonna be
it's
saying
such a
that a
huge
lot.
meme. It's such a big, like, cultural thing online right now. It seems like everybody's been talking about it. And so as a result, there's, like, a lot of attention on it. There's a big spotlight on it. And whenever there's a spotlight on things like this, you will have people in society who deem it necessary for whatever reason to go out and just make complete fucking idiots of themselves. And it's kind of unfortunate that that's the case because, like I said, this is a movie, and I think a lot of people forget this is a movie that is aimed at children. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of us who are adults, we grew up playing Minecraft, but it's very clear from like the writing, from everything going on, the animation, the people that they casted, this movie is meant for kids. So it's just kind of double embarrassing, I think, for people to be acting violent and fucking stupid at a children's movie of all things, right? But it's been a pretty pleasant surprise for the most part in terms of like what the movie has had to provide. I mean, even the people who like do the projections for like how a movie is going to perform at the box office, from what I was reading, the analysts were expecting for the Minecraft movie to open the weekend and make about $150 million, and the Minecraft movie actually completely blew past that. It was insane. Apparently it made about $163 million over the opening weekend. It, like I said, leapfrogged the Super Mario movie for like the largest opening.
I still can't get over that, man. It really usurped the Super Mario Brothers movie for being the best opening for a video game based movie ever. That's crazy to me. But like I said, unfortunately I didn't see the movie, so I can't really give you guys my thoughts. If you did see the movie, please let me know in the comments of this video, or if you're live on the chat, let me know as well. What did you think? Did you think the movie was good? Did you think it stinked? Do you think it deserves the success it's getting? Also, let me know what you think about people acting out like this in movie theaters. Do you think it's okay? Me personally, I don't think it's okay, and I think it's insane that people are literally losing their minds over a fucking movie like this. Like, seriously, people need to calm down. I understand, again, I get it. I get it being excited about something in a movie you've been waiting to see, but body slamming a theater worker? Are you nuts? Come on. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode of the Doghouse. Thanks for watching. If you're live, stay tuned for the after show. And if you're watching this, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on all my socials. Stay tuned for the meme of the day, and I'll see you guys next time.